It's my pleasure to be a moderator today. Our first speaker is Laurel Korbo. Laurel is a member of BLT Advanced Club and is starting a club in Melfort, Saskatchewan. Laurel is assisting clubs in learning more about the Pathways educational program. She will provide tips for accessing Basecamp today. Her presentation is entitled Blaze a Path to Basecamp. Laurel joined Toastmasters in 2006 and has been a member of 5 clubs over the years. Is a sponsor of the new club in Melfort and is moving out of the Division B last year. After moving out of Division B last year, she has served many club officer roles as Area B4 Governor and as Administration Manager for D42. Fellow Toastmasters, please help me welcome Laurel Korbo, Distinguished Toastmasters, with Blaze Path to Basecamp.
How many of your club members do you think have chosen their path in Pathways? How many of you know what a path is? Now, I know that 100% of our Advanced Club BLT have chosen their path, but in our Division B, there's only 2 clubs that with that perfect score. Many of our clubs are below 70%. That means up to 40% of your members haven't even begun any Pathways projects. So if you have 20 members, how many is that? 8 people? We're leaving so many people behind. If they are not working the program, they won't see their goals achieved and be recognized for them. And without goal achievement and recognition, we'll lose out on those members sticking around. We know that only a small percentage of new members completed their first 10 speeches in the old education program. We don't want to see that happen with Pathways. But our Basecamp managers who administer at the Pathways program don't have all the time in the world to run the mentorship program, to track project completions, help each and every member choose the right path. It can be hard to have that time to make sure every single member is onboarded onto Pathways and starts completing projects and levels and eventually reach their DTMs. So our goal today is to train and recruit you to be the subject matter experts in your club for Pathways Basecamp to onboard every single member. Ideally, not just the Basecamp manager should be doing this. At least one member in each club, maybe even a few, who can reach out and help members who have not yet started Pathways, whether they're brand new or whether they've just finished the legacy program in June and haven't made that transition yet. You will be the seed to build a network of volunteers, at least one from each club, who will be able to support each other and lead by example. This is part of Marga Supsky's High Performance Leadership Project. She is ensuring that every club is fully using the digital resources available to them, including Pathways and Free Toast Host. You'll hear more about Free Toast Host from Marga shortly. So the basics I wanted to share with you so that you can share it with your club is how to choose a path, how to submit completed levels, how to approve completions on Basecamp as well as Club Central, how to leave feedback on Basecamp, how to download evaluation forms, and how to upload the evaluation forms. I also want to have a little bit of time for question and discussions because there are a lot of tips and tricks. I'm new to Basecamp myself, so I'm sure a lot of you will have some good ideas that we can share with each other. So how do we choose our path? The first step is log into your Toastmasters website. Under Pathways, choose a path. You'll have your path language, and then whether you want to have digital or print paper copies of the Pathways education material. You can either choose a path directly from the list or take the online assessment. You can read all kinds of details about each path, get an idea of what the projects will be. Have you just done an HPL? Do you want to do a different type of project? Or have you just started out and you want to do presentation mastery. If you already know, you don't need the online assessment. I do recommend trying the online assessment, as it's given me a really good idea of where I want to focus on that day. And there's so many different paths you can take within a path. You shouldn't feel constrained to stick to just one. If you are a renewing member for October, Toastmasters International has provided an extra path. So if you have renewed before December, you'll be able to add that on. So you can take advantage of that. So after you've looked at the paths, compare them, make your selection, confirm that that's the one you want, and then there'll be the order process. If it's a extra one beyond the ones that are included, it's $20. Include any payment method that's required and place the order. Once you've placed that order, you can go to Basecamp, open the curriculum for whatever your path might be, and launch your first project in level 1. You can also see all the projects coming up so that you can plan. You can work ahead a little bit if you have a project that happens to meet the needs for one of the other projects. It's ideal to work in order, but you can look ahead if you wish. Once you've completed all the projects in a level, hit activate on the level completion section to submit the level completion to your Basecamp managers. Let the Basecamp manager know that it's there waiting for you. But if you're a dual member, make sure you let them know which club is to receive the award, as that will make a difference for their Distinguished Club program. And the VP Ed will be verifying the completion. When you hit that activate button, it does bring up some good instructions for how to submit your completed levels. Mark complete, and it'll show pending completion approval until your Basecamp manager has approved it. Once they've approved it, you'll see it's shown as complete, and you can view your certificate. Put that up on your wall, share it with all your friends and family so they see your achievement. Now, as the Basecamp manager, there are several steps. We've had some clubs who approved things just in the Basecamp. However, you also need to submit the educational award to TI through the Club Central on Toastmasters.org. So approving the level completions is a series of simple steps, but they must be completed in the right order by the right club. So first, you would go to log in as a Basecamp manager, pending requests, click on that nice little green check mark beside their name that says approve, and then you can send them a message of congratulations, other comments, and hit submit. So if you do have dual members, it's so important to remember that any club can submit the approvals. However, it must be the club that is receiving credit for that award that submits it to TI through Club Central. So don't submit it to Club Central until you've confirmed that that's the club, if you know that they are dual members. Now, looking at Club Central, log in to Toastmasters.org, go to Leadership Central, click on Club Central. You'll see Submit Education Awards as one of the options. Choose their name, choose the path and the level that they've completed. Click Review Award Submission. It'll let you see what you've selected. You can edit it if it's not correct, or submit the award if it is. And once they've completed a level, it's a big achievement. Be sure to recognize them. You as the Basecamp manager can go into the member's profile, see their status on each level, and download their certificates. To do that, go into search them on the Pathways Basecamp, click on their profile, hit Paths and Learning, open curriculum, view details, view certificate, and there's that beautiful certificate of completion. Share it at your club meeting, put it in your club's newsletter, post it on social media, Print it off on cardstock so they have something to frame and put up on their wall. Be sure to recognize them for what they have completed. Next, we're going to look at feedback. This is something that Veronica Schroeder showed me several years ago, and then I plumb forgot about it. I forgot it existed entirely. But it's one of the most fun parts of the Basecamp because anyone in your club can leave you feedback, give you badges. Go to the search bar, type in whoever you want to send a message to, and share the feedback there with whatever you wish. You can send them a badge, send them congratulations, send them feedback, maybe evaluation of one of their speeches or other roles that they filled in your club. Badges, you can give them a courageous one for stepping outside of their comfort zone, innovative for doing something new, inspirational when they truly inspire you. Now, when you're the evaluator, you may not have the evaluation form handy. The VP Education, the speaker, or the evaluator can all find it. And there's several different ways to do so. So anybody can log on to Basecamp, click the nice big house button on the Paths and Learning default page. This will have the different resources to look at. If you click in the middle there, there's a speech evaluation page. It has all the evaluation resources to fill out your evaluations, as well as frequently asked questions. And under that, you'll see all the project's evaluation forms listed alphabetically. Another way is if you're in your own Pathways project on Basecamp, or if you're doing the same path as the speaker, you can go into the project and there'll often be an option to download the evaluation resource. And the final option that I'm aware of is if you're using Toast, in the agenda, as long as they've entered which project they're doing, you can find the evaluation form there, as well as the project description. Now, Toastmasters is a great program because it's self-paced. I joined in 2006. I got my DTM June 21st of 2020. So some may take longer than others to finish the rest of their projects in a level. And if it's been a long time, the VP Education may need to verify that you did that project and had it evaluated. What if you've lost your evaluation forms, moved or changed computers, or lost your entire Google Drive in some kind of disaster? You can save it all on your Basecamp. You can save it under Documents in your e-portfolio. You can also upload a photo or a scan of the completed evaluation resource. Save any documents here that you want. So you have a central place if your VP Education asks for it in the future, no matter how long it's been since you've done it. You can see the documents has a structure based on the different levels so that you can easily find the evaluation resources. And there's also a general documents folder for any random things you want to save. So you'll go into the folder that you want, click Add File, and upload the new documents, and it'll be there as long as Basecamp lasts. Now, I wanted to make sure we had lots of time for ideas and discussion. So does anyone have any questions or tips and tricks that they would share? See, there's some questions in here. Okay. Scroll down so I don't miss anybody. So I see Dawn Thomas Canner saying she encourages everyone to claim the free path, even if you have 3 on the go already. You'll eventually want to do something different, and it gives you lots of options, doesn't it? Keith Lee, will the PowerPoint be available for members to use in their own clubs? Yes, I can share that in the chat shortly after, while Marta's doing her presentation, so I can send that to you. It has my speaking notes as well, so you can adapt it to what you'd like to do. Okay. Well, I see lots of people are really interested in this. That's awesome. So glad to see that. Dan Lee asked, if I'm already on a path, am I still able to claim the free one? Yes, you can have as many paths open as you want. You just can't have two of the same path open at once. So as Faye asks, end of March or end of December. So if you renew for the October dues renewal period by the end of December, you can claim your free path by March. So you have about a month to get that payment into your treasurer for your renewal. It doesn't work for new members, unfortunately, only for renewals, as a thank you from Toastmasters International for sticking around through a difficult time. Keith also asked, does Toastmasters International still have the option to send a letter to the employer for awards achieved? Yes, you certainly can have that sent to you, and I did actually receive one myself this year, so that's always exciting for them to see what you've been doing, and if they're paying for it, it justifies why they've been sending you to Toastmasters all this time. And there's some really good links there from Ryan Rupchin and Keith Lee about letters as well as the dates. Okay, Brad Korbo clarifies, after level 2, you have the option to send to your employer. Oh, it looks like lots of people already know the answers to some of these questions. Thanks, Katrina, for answering that there. Any other questions I haven't? If there's any other questions, you can send it in the chat. Shelley Hoy asks, can you do the evaluation online and send it in? I believe you can. They would have the PDFs that you can fill in and then send by email. And Lillian Westling asks about tricks to help the special needs people to do their paths. So does anyone have any ideas about helping special needs people to do their paths? I imagine they need, some of them may need you to show them how to do it. Lillian? Does anyone have any ideas for that? Oh, Keith has shared special needs and accessibility link there in the chat from 122. Hopefully that's helpful. Does anyone else have any ideas? Okay, Kevin Templeton's asking, do all pathways have a requirement to fill certain meeting roles? That I don't know. I haven't looked at them in that much detail. I know that certain meeting roles are electives, so it's an option, certainly. Does anyone else know if there's a requirement to fill certain meeting roles in the different paths? Okay.
I think it mainly focuses on evaluation and mentorship.
Okay, that makes sense. I know that some of them have been, you can do Toastmaster for an online meeting, and other.
There is one for table topics as well, Table Topics Master,
Yes.
which is to chat to develop your active listening skills.
Laurel, at level
Yes.
3, you have to have served as a Table Topics Master, Toastmaster, and Evaluator.
Oh, thanks, Mark. It's good to know. I've just started on Pathways myself this year, so it's been really cool to learn about this so that I can share it with everybody and getting all the tips and tricks. Is there a renewal if the member rejoins after a year or more absence? That's a good question. I would look into the emails that we received earlier in the fall from Toastmasters International. I'm not sure if it would be. If anyone knows the answer, you can pop it in the chat or share it with everyone. See, Edric, I think we answered your question there, Edric, but if we haven't, just shoot another question in the chat. Is there any questions I haven't answered there? I think I'm getting close to the end of our time together today. Cindy suggests that special needs is a great role for assigned mentors. So if you are looking at doing your Pathways mentorship project or just want to mentor someone in that way, you can help someone with special needs to work through their Basecamp and Pathways. Oh, another really important trick Connie Paus has added is that if you are in more than one club, be sure to log into Pathways and switch to that club so that your club members can see you. You can only see members of your club who are signed into that club. And you can only send feedback and receive feedback from them if you're signed into the same club. So if you have more than one club, be sure to log into that club maybe the day of or the day before and stay in there for a couple days after so people can send you feedback. Katrina Abro says, yes, it is still a renewal. If you are a former member that hasn't been around for a little while, you may want to check into it just to be sure. Okay, so Lillian's saying for the special needs, helping with non-readers and helping them get through the assessments and doing evaluations. Oh, sounds like you have two great area directors who are helping you to teach your members how to do Toastmasters with Zoom. I'm sure that's another challenge that you've been seeing there. So I think if we can connect as a network, we can help each other with those kinds of things that not every single Toastmaster sees. Albert just said, if I've paid for the year, am I eligible for the free path? I would say so, yes, because if you are paid for October 1st, that counts as a renewal. So your club would pay that separately. Okay. Lawrence is asking, can we get credit in Pathways for an educational module, such as the Better Speaker series and Better Club series? I'm not sure if they're in there specifically. I was looking for things such as youth leadership as well myself, and I think you can adapt other projects within the Pathways. I think they're still working on adapting those to fit into the Pathways educational program, but you can adapt those modules to fit into other projects, I believe, as long as it's your own original information that you've added into there. But if anyone has anything else to add to that, please do. Yes, Ruby, definitely. Take the Successful Club series and customize it, add it to your spin to fit it into a speech in your path for sure. There's lots of really good resources in the chat. So everyone, I think if you click on those three little dots by the chat window and hit Save Chat, that'll be really handy for everybody. Looks like we've come to the end of our time together. So please send me an email if you want to be that person or one of those people in your club to blaze the path to Basecamp to make sure 100% of our members are getting the most out of Basecamp and logging on, choosing a path, and going beyond that as well.